10 years ago, Marcus Chen told me I'd never amount to anything. Last week, he applied for a job at my company. But before I tell you what I did next, let me take you back to where it all began, because how everything unfolded will shock you. Senior year of high school, I was the kid who ate lunch in the library, wore the same hoodie 3 days a week, and had a 4.0 GPA that nobody cared about. Marcus was everything I wasn't. Captain of the basketball team, popular, and ruthlessly cruel. "Hey, scholarship boy," he'd say, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You really think your little grades matter? My dad's already got me lined up at his firm. You're gonna be hopeless in life." The worst part wasn't the name calling. It was the day he dumped my college applications in the cafeteria trash can. I'd spent months on those essays, perfecting every word. He said I was wasting my time, that people like me stayed in our place. I fished them out in front of everyone, sauce-stained and crumpled, while he laughed. If you're enjoying this story so far, hit that like button. Trust me, the payback is worth it. That moment broke something in me, but it also forged something stronger. I rewrote every single application. I worked 2 jobs to afford test prep courses. When I got into MIT on a full scholarship, I didn't tell anyone at school. I just disappeared after graduation while Marcus went to some party school his father paid for. College was brutal. I was surrounded by people who'd gone to elite prep schools, who spoke multiple languages, who'd interned at Fortune 500 companies while I was flipping burgers. But I had something they didn't. I was hungry. Every time I wanted to quit, I remembered Marcus's words, hopeless in life. I turned that phrase into fuel. I graduated top of my engineering program. Then I did something risky. Instead of taking a comfortable job at Google or Microsoft, I joined a struggling startup as employee number 7. My parents thought I was crazy, but I saw something nobody else did. Potential. For 3 years, I barely slept. I coded. I problem-solved. I wore every hat imaginable. When the founders wanted to give up, I convinced them to pivot. When investors said no, I refined the pitch. When we were down to 2 months of runway, I landed the client that saved us. The startup exploded. Within 5 years, we were the leading software platform in our industry. I'd gone from employee 7 to chief technology officer, with equity that was suddenly worth more than I'd ever imagined. Subscribe if you want to hear how this confrontation ends. You won't believe what happened next. But here's what success taught me. Revenge isn't about rubbing someone's face in your wins. I could have forgotten Marcus entirely. I had everything I dreamed of. A career I loved, financial security, respect in my field. His words were just a distant memory of a stupid kid who peaked in high school. Then LinkedIn changed everything. I was scrolling through job applications for a senior developer position when I saw the name, Marcus Chen. At first, I thought it was a coincidence. It's not an uncommon name. But the profile photo confirmed it. Older, with less hair and more weight, but definitely him. My hands actually shook as I opened his resume. He'd bounced between mediocre sales jobs for years. His father's firm had apparently fired him after some unspecified incident. His most recent position had ended 8 months ago. He was desperate, overqualified on paper for the role he'd applied for, and clearly needed a break. I had a choice to make. The old wounds were still there. I could still feel the humiliation of that cafeteria moment, still hear his mocking voice. Part of me, the 18-year-old kid who'd been tormented, wanted to reject his application with a petty note. "Sorry, you're hopeless for this position." The revenge would be poetic. I scheduled the interview anyway. Marcus didn't recognize me at first. I'd gained muscle, traded my glasses for contacts, and wore a custom suit instead of a ratty hoodie. But when I introduced myself, I watched the color drain from his face. You're the CTO? He stammered. I am. I let the silence hang there, watching him squirm. Listen, I was a stupid kid. I was awful to you. I don't expect... Tell me, I interrupted. Why do you want this job? He took a shaky breath. I need it. My marriage is falling apart. I'm behind on my mortgage. I've been rejected from 37 positions in 6 months. His voice cracked. I know I don't deserve anything from you. I know what I did was unforgivable, I offered. Yes. Stay with me. This is where everything you expect gets flipped. I looked at the broken man in front of me, and I realized something profound. Hurting him wouldn't heal my past. Rejecting him wouldn't change what happened in that cafeteria. Real power isn't about making your enemies suffer. It's about choosing who you become despite them. I recognized that you were cruel, I said. You made my life miserable, but you also made me determined to prove you wrong about who I was. Marcus nodded miserably. The position you applied for is wrong for your skill set. However, I looked at your experience. You're actually good at client relations when you're not being a jerk. We have an opening in our enterprise sales division. Better pay, better fit. His head snapped up. What? I'm not doing this for you, I said clearly. I'm doing this for me, because the person I've become doesn't let old grudges define my decisions. You'll be on probation, and if you bring any of that high school toxicity here, you're gone. But everyone deserves a chance to be better than their worst moment. I stood and extended my hand. Do we have an understanding? He shook it, tears actually forming in his eyes. Thank you. Thank you. If this story resonated with you, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Marcus has been with the company for 6 months now. He's doing well, and he goes out of his way to avoid me, which is fine. We're not friends. We'll never be friends. But here's what I learned. Marcus was wrong about me being hopeless, and I was wrong to think proving him wrong would feel like victory. The real victory was building a life so good that his opinion became irrelevant. Success isn't about making your bullies sorry. It's about becoming someone you're proud to be, regardless of who tried to stop you. And that's a revenge they can never take away.